All right, you've probably heard the saying, the eyes are the windows to the soul. Well, it can make all the difference in the world when you're working on portraits, whether in Photoshop or in Painter or whatever. But we need to make the eyes more grandiose, probably, than anything else in the image. And as you can clearly see here, the eyes are looking a little bit drab, dreary, and we need to liven them up. So the first thing we need to do is make a selection. Let's get on the background layer here. We need to make a selection out of these eyes, and I'm just going to use the quick selection tool. Let's make this smaller. I'm going to use the left bracket key here to make a selection. Do it again over here, and then I'm going to hold down my Option key or Alt key on a PC and try to fine-tune that a little bit. And that works pretty good. I'm going to use the lasso to get just a little bit more in here. So I'm going to hold down the Shift key to add a little bit right in here, and the Option or Alt key on a PC to get rid of a little bit of this. It doesn't have to be perfect because we can take care of that in just a few minutes. I'm going to do a Command J on a Mac, Control J on a PC to put those eyes on their own layer, and then we can fine-tune those when we need to. But right now, let's do a little. Let me bring this up so you can see the different. Come on. Let's do an adjustment layer here and go down to use saturation because we really want to bring these things to life. So let's move this over here and still keep an eye on our eyes. I'm going to switch to the move tool just so I can be clear. Now obviously I'm making a change to the overall image, so we're going to go right here and just create a clipping layer here by holding down the Alt key on a PC, Option key on a Mac, right between these two layers, and then the focus is just on the layer below it. So now if we change that, if you watch the eyes, you see the changes are only going on in the iris themselves. So we can really crank up the saturation if we want to. Be careful. Just because you can doesn't mean that you should. You might want to take that down. Certainly don't want to get too crazy and brighten it up too awfully much. But I'm going to lighten it some because we can always undo this, kind of an undo or a opacity change to make it a little bit different. So I'm going to get rid of this layer. No, we'll leave that there for now. Okay, now let's take this use saturation layer down, keeping an eye on the irises, and you can see what a drastic change that is. Turn the eyeball off and on to see the overall change. If you look right in here, you see we've got a little bit of an overlay of color, and we're going to fix that. Let me move this back out of the way, because all we have to do is go on this layer here that is the copy of the eye and use the eraser tool. Let's run the use saturation all the way up again and zoom in more on these eyes so we can get rid of this. Turn on the eraser, and we need kind of a soft eraser, something like this. And let's make that 100%. Make sure you're on that right layer. We don't want to be on the use saturation, so I'm going to undo what I just did. Get back over here. Get back on the eraser. And let's swing over to that other eye, and we see the same thing here. We don't want it overlapping on the black outline of the iris either. Got that going on a little bit down here. Alright, we're good. Let's back off and see what we have now, because we want to make sure that we don't go too far with the color. So here we are. I think I'm comfortable with that. So I'm going to go ahead and do a Control E to merge this down twice. I'm going to do Control E, or Command E on a Mac to just move those down. I don't know where that layer came from, but we don't need that. Alright, so we've got the eye color changed. So the next video I do, which will be posted in the next day or so, will show you how we're going to put a highlight in the eye, and we're really going to bump up the color in the iris, a half moon color bump that will really bring out the personality of the individual, really give you a in-depth eye, a 3D type effect. So tune back in to catch this second part. Talk to you later.